to the Dobby Gaffer YouTube channel, and if you're new around here, I play Football Manager. Of course, the official release of Football Manager 2024 was just a few days ago. And my first save in FM24 is gonna be, we have a question mark. Let's unravel the mystery, shall we? Founded in 1907 with a home stadium called Spotland, Rochdale AFC were invited into the old Division 3 North in 1921, where they stayed for 47 years. As the English Football League was expanded to 4 divisions, Rochdale yo-yoed between the 3rd and 4th divisions. The club hold the record for playing the most seasons in the old 3rd division, now Sky Bet 1, and the 4th division, now Sky Bet 2, without ever reaching the championship. That's 95 seasons. They spent 36 consecutive seasons in the bottom tier of English football between 1974 and 2010. This is a record, and the division is often jokingly referred to as the Rochdale Division. The home stadium is now sponsored and is called the Crown Oil Arena. After 102 years as a Football League club, they were relegated to the National League in the 2022-23 season. And there we have it. My starter club for FM24 is going to be Rochdale AFC. Ultimately, my goal is to try and win as many trophies along the way as I can. Will that be with Rochdale AFC? I don't know, we'll have to see. If job offers come in and it helps me to further my managerial career, then every job offer will be given consideration. So I think I've done enough waffling for now. Let's get stuck in, shall we? Dressed to impress. I think that's the name of the game here. And I think I look very fetching in my snazzy blue suit. Our very nice press officer Tony Lynn has sent me this a copy of the Manchester Evening News article. Rochdale hire Gaffer as a manager, and apparently I've taken over from previous manager Jim McNulty. This is the supporter profile and the supporter culture and expectations. Obviously, we need to get the better of our bitter rivals, Bury, and I am from kind of round that neck of the woods. And being a Manchester City supporter, Colin Bell, he came from Bury, so I do know the rivalry around those areas. And of course, obviously, not forgetting Oldham and Stockport. There's a lot of rivalry in Manchester. You thought it was just City and United? Think again. Well, Simon Gage, our chairperson, looks a very friendly chap. I think I'm going to get on very well with him. Work within the wage budget, grow the reputation of the club, and record a Vanarama National top half finish. And looking at the season preview, the media prediction has us finishing 8th, 13-1 to finish 8th. We don't have any players in the media Dream 11, and we do have to scroll down a fair way before we actually come to a couple of players there. Tyrese Sinclair and Devante Rodney. And that's it basically. We have a first team squad of 19 players, although 4 of those are on loan and probably will be going back. The under-21 squad looks okay, although there are a lot of very young players in there. And just a couple of players, 15 and 16-year-old, in the under-18s. The squad age profile not looking too bad. Ian Henderson is 38 years old. Adam Clayton is 34-year-old. And Jimmy Cohane is 32 years old. But other than that, the majority of the squad are, middle 20s. Looking at the tactics, so I am being recommended to either use wing play, fluid counter-attacking or direct counter-attacking. My gut feeling is either fluid counter-attacking or direct counter-attacking, but we will have to have a look at that. The staffing screen. If you watched any of my previous videos, you know I like the staffing screen to be, 100%. If my coaches are not the best coaches in the league, then, there's something wrong. Obviously, they are quite low down, and we're allowed 3 coaches, just the 3. We've only got 1. We have no set-piece coach. We have no head performance analyst. We have no scouts at all. I will be using the scouting system. I'm going to try not to use previous knowledge. I'm going to use the scouting system, and that is going to be my basis for signing players. We do have a little bit of money. We'll speak about that shortly. But as we stand, we have no director of football. In fact, we don't have a recruitment team at all. So that's going to need looking at ASAP. Medical team's not looking too bad. I think I probably will be asking for some more staff. Whether I'll get them or not, I don't know. I know Rochdale AFC do not have a lot of financial muscle. But in the medical team, we just need a sports scientist as it stands. Looking at the competitions, we're in the National League. We'll be in the English FA Cup and the FA Trophy as well. I don't know whether we're in the Caribou Cup. I'm not sure. It doesn't say there. But English FA Trophy, can we win that maybe? I don't know. The club info screen, we have a home kit which is primarily like a royal blue, and the away kit is a very snazzy yellow with some, grey and white spots on it. Our nickname is The Dale. Training facilities, 2-star. Youth facilities, 2-star. Junior coaching, half a star. Youth recruitment, well, it's not really there, is it? Reputation of 2-star. And the Crown Oil Arena holds just over 10,000 fans. If we can start filling that ground, it will generate a bit of income for us. And just another quick look at the club vision. Work within the wage budget, grow the club's reputation, record a Vanarama National top half finish, so there's no expectation from the board to get automatic promotion, which depends which way you take that. It could be good, it could be bad. I would like to get promoted at the first time of asking, but if I don't, then there's no pressure on me. A top half finish, and the board will be quite happy with that. Club finances, we have just under 3 million in the bank. The transfer budget of 10,000, which at this level I don't think is too bad. And next season minimum guaranteed budget will be 54,000. So wage budget just under 24,500, and we're more or less spending all of that. But we do have loan players to go back, so I'm guessing that we'll release some funds. If I have to put all the transfer budget into wage budget and then bring loan players in and out of contract players, then that's exactly what I'll do. But obviously all of this requires, some decent head scratching, I think. I'm going to have to go away, sort the staffing out, and then sort the playing staff out as well. And the development centre, Oscar Kelly, 2-star ability with the potential to be 5-star, and Max Conway, 2-star with the potential to be 4.5. So, the development advice there is Oscar Kelly could become one of the club's best players, and potentially a lot better than Tyree Sinclair, who was in the media list basically. So I'm going to go away now. I'm going to do a little bit of head scratching. The staffing needs sorting out, like I say. We're going to have a look at the playing staff, see what tactical style that we're going to use, and then see what the squad depth is like. Obviously, with a squad depth of 19, it's not great, is it really? So all of that needs to be looked at. But be assured, I'll be back very, very shortly, and I'll be keeping you updated with everything that's going on and showing you exactly where I'm up to with staffing and player acquisitions. Well, I've been in the hot seat for a few days now, and I'm about to meet the players, so we'll have a little look at that in a second. But I think it's going to be quite a tough challenge, this one. And what I have decided for myself is that, considering that Rochdale have never been in the Championship in their whole history, my challenge, I think, initially is going to be get them out of this division, Sky Bet 2, Sky Bet 1, Championship. Once I've got them into the Championship, well, if I can get them into the Championship, given the resources that we've maybe not got, then I'll make more decisions then. Anyway, let's get stuck into having a word with the players. So the overall meeting atmosphere is downcast. Have they not heard of my reputation? They got to be gaffer. Cheer up, lads, come on. I know that many of you may not have heard of me, so I wanted to personally introduce myself as the new Rochdale manager. And, it's encouraged already. They obviously like they like the look of the Fizzog here, and let's see. Welcome. It's what you do here that counts, so nobody will judge you based on your reputation. Okay, so let's have a look at the options. So a neutral option is I'd like to talk about our Vanarama national aims for the forthcoming campaign. I think that's a good place to start. And overall team meeting atmosphere now is pleased. Quite a few of them are very positive. So we do have to say the right thing here. We know about button clicking in Football Manager. So again, bearing in mind, this is not a tutorial, but if anybody's watching for the first time and playing Football Manager for the first time, then, this little section is a tutorial. You always have to say what the board requirement is. So for instance, the first option here is I want us to get promoted. Don't say that. You'll get a negative response. The board want a top half finish. The next option is I think we can finish in the top half this season. So that's exactly what I'm going to say. And the atmosphere is still pleased. So I'm just going to say that's exactly the reaction I was looking for. And I'm just going to say I don't want to talk about the FA Cup. I'm just going to say that I have nothing else to say at this moment in time. So basically, they're all pleased and satisfied now, which should help the dynamics no end. If I'd have said to them I want to get promoted and go against what the board said, then we would have a lot of grumpy players on our hands. And if we just go into the dynamics then, so team cohesion is poor at the moment. I would expect that. We've got 4 players. I'll talk about the loans in a second. So the way I've started the game, obviously there are different options, aren't there, to start the game this season. The way I've started the game, some of the signings that have been made are already here. So those loan players are not actually from last season, they're this season's. So we do have 4 loan players and they're here. Well, 3 of them are till the end of the season. 1 of them goes in January, but we'll look at that later. So team cohesion, we've not played together yet. It's poor. I would expect that. Club atmosphere is average. Managerial support is average. I don't like these little red lines here. We need to get that nice and green, shiny green, and we need to get the managerial support, well, top notch. And the only way of doing that is to, treat the players well, get the results on the pitch and keep everybody as happy as Larry. And I have set up a preliminary tactic. I'm going 4-3-3, direct counter-attacking. Whether that will change, I don't know. We have got some friendlies coming up very quickly now. In fact, we have a friendly to play today. It's the 4th of July now. We do have a friendly to play, but I have organised 1 or 2. We'll have a look at the schedule in a second. So this is basically what I've set out. This Tavon Campbell is actually out on loan, and he's out on loan till the end of the season. So when I said we had a squad of 19, we've actually only got a squad of 18. The identifying points I've made in the team are we've got Louis Molden. He's on loan till the end of the season. He's one of the loanees. Quite a good goalkeeper. We do need a backup goalkeeper. Left centre-back, we've really only got Nevitt. And he's only 5'10". As a centre-back, not great really. So I've kind of earmarked him to cover left-back. So at the moment we have this lad here, Cameron John, very, very good left-back. Again, he's only 5'11", left-footed, so he could play there. It's not too bad, it's not a disaster, but I think I probably would like to play him out on that left side. So we are going to need some left centre-backs, and the taller the better. We do have quite a few, if we have a quick look here, we do have quite a few defensive midfielders. In fact, McDermott is a ball-winning midfield player. What we are lacking is creative players in the middle of the park. So again, that's something else I've identified. We're going to need to look for some creative players. Sinclair on the left wing, he's very right-footed, but I am going to have him coming in as like an inside forward. Not quite sure yet. He can play right across the front. He may even end up as striker yet, but it's early days. Right wing does seem to be a little bit of a weakness for her. We've only got this lad here, Jesseron Uchegabulam. He's the only player really that we've got that can play on the right. Sinclair can play there, but obviously I need wingers that are versatile and can play inside forward, winger, inverted winger, that kind of thing. And in the striking department, we seem to be fairly well covered in there, but it is very early days. I think what I'm going to have to do, probably, given the fact now that the wage budget is very close to being maxed out, and the loan players that I thought were going back are not, I am probably going to have to transfer or convert some or all of my transfer budget into wage budget to try and bring the squad up to the levels that are required and maybe bring some better quality players in. I've already identified we need a keeper, we need 2 left-footed centre-backs, we need a right winger. That's if we're going to play this situation. We also need some creative players in midfield, at least a couple. So there's a lot of work to be done. Well, it seems to be going quite well with the players. The board, not so much. So I've tried to hire a set-piece coach. The board have cancelled a transfer of Devante Albans. They feel the club doesn't need a set-piece coach. Okay then, so a little bit confused. Who are they expecting to do that then? Me, probably? Okay, jack of all trades. We do have a sports scientist though. He's a 12 for sports science, Ronan Kavanagh. So he's looking okay, at this level. Not expecting miracles, but he looks okay. I have asked for another physio, and we do now have a fitness coach, Darren Simpson. 13 for fitness, 12 for discipline. Determination's not great, but I didn't really have an awful lot of options. We have a new Cheese Scout, Chris Trotter, a 34-year-old English lad, 18 for adaptability. If he's going to be just scouting this country, which I think initially we will be doing, then that's not a problem. And he's 11s for judging player ability and potential. And apart from the Cheese Scout, we have our first scout that we've employed, Joe McLaren, a 33-year-old. He's a 12 and 13 for ability and potential judging and a 16 for adaptability. Quite happy with him. 35-year-old James Baxter is coming in as an attacking coach. So he's got 14 for attacking and he's a 10 for tactical and technical. He's not actually, compared to what I've been looking at, he's not actually bad at defending and on the possession side as well. I have myself a director of football, 76-year-old Paul Ogden, 15 for adaptability, 15 for discipline. The main characteristics are judging player ability and potential, only a 9 and an 8. But a 7 for negotiating, so if I want him to do any negotiating, he's not too bad. He's not the greatest director of football, but let's face it, we are at Rochdale. And my second scout is through the door, and it's 64-year-old Paul Molesworth. 14, so at this level, not too bad for ability and potential judging. And while we're at it, let's just have a quick look at the assistant manager. He was already in situ. Kevin Gibbons, 37-year-old. And looking at the stats that he requires, judging player ability and potential, 3. People management of 7. Not great if I'm honest. I'm going to have to maybe make a decision whether I bin him off. But to be quite honest, he's got a 2-year contract with us, so that's not going to be easy. And here we go again. The board have cancelled the transfer of Giancarlo Pinto as they feel the club doesn't need a recruitment analyst. So it's all got to be financial, this. I am apparently allowed them, but, well, they're not allowing me them. A bit strange. I think it's all financial. A quick look at the schedule then. So the fixtures have been announced. We have a home game for the first game of the season on the 5th of August, and it's against Ebbsfleet. As you can see, I've organised quite a lot of friendlies. We have just played Rochdale's second 11 and apparently came from behind to win 2-1. But at the moment, I'm still in the process of putting a tactic together, putting a formation together, and there will be more players coming in. The problem is the team cohesion probably is going to suffer early season, depending on how quickly I can bring these players in and get them working in the system. So given the constraints of the board's finances, I think apart from a physio now, I think I'm done on the staff side. The recruitment team are top of the shop, which is great. That's absolutely brilliant. I think once I get my physio in, then we'll probably be the highest on the medical team in the Vanarama League. The coaching side, again, like I say, if you watched any of my videos, I like all of these bar charts to be top of the shop. Unfortunately, they won't let me have a set piece coach. I don't know why it's there if I can't have one, but I think if I had a set piece coach and a head performance analyst, we probably would be getting there. But as you can see, the goalkeeping department, we're about 50% on. I can only have one goalkeeping coach. Fitness is not too bad. I mean, most of these bar charts here are not where I would like them to be. But with only 3 coaches and me and the assistant manager, let's face it, the assistant manager's not amazing, is he? It's going to be difficult. But it's a first season, and let's see how we can do, and then maybe build on it at the end of the season. Maybe the board will be kind to us and let us have a few more staff members. In fact, let's see how the season goes. If we can get off to a good start, I might go in and ask for some more staff. So I said I would keep you updated. Those are all the updates up to now. The season or the friendlies are just getting going. So we will be able to have a look at these players, see how they play in those positions, see how they perform with the team. Staffing is very, very nearly there. It's not as good as I would like it to be, but like I say, financial constraints here at Rochdale. Let's hope we can start putting bums on seats, get a little bit of money through the turnstiles, and then maybe the board will think, a little bit more kindly. So my job now is to go away. I've already identified, as I've told you, we need a left centre-back, or at least a couple of left centre-backs, a goalkeeper, a couple of creative bodies in midfield, probably a right winger. I'm going to go away now, and I'm not going to, I don't want this to be War and Peace, and I'm sure if you sat watching me going through all the players that I think might do and putting offers in, could be a little bit boring. So I'm going to go away and do that now, and if we get any significant updates, then I will be back, and I'll speak to you very shortly. Well, I'm not going to lie, I think I definitely underestimated how difficult this job's going to be. I've really underestimated the finances. So I've been familiarising myself with the rules, and actually we can only have 5 loan players in the match squad. I did find one hidden away in the under-21s, Max Conway. Left back, he's not the greatest of players, he's a 2-star. He's only 19 years old, but the problem is that does bring us up to our maximum. So we've got Molden, East, McDermott, Aduro and Conway now. I can't bring any more loan players in. So I'm stuck with what I've got. I don't know where my head was actually when I was saying 10,000 wasn't too bad. I normally start my grassroots to goal boots in the Vanarama North or South, and I think 10,000 in there is not too bad. In the National, it's nothing. Basically, if we just have a look at the budget adjustment here, 10,000, 24,498 wage budget. If I move that, it gives me about another £200 a week. It's a pittance, really. I have got an offer in for a player, and that's already taken my wage budget above what I'm allowed. That player is a left wing back, Miles Kenlock. So I have rejigged a little bit. I don't think I'll get this lad. I've already had one player that I put an offer in for, just go elsewhere. I think he went to Dorking, something like that. So this lad is wanted by a lot of players. We're not going to get him, I don't think. He looks a very, very good left wing back. What I've decided to do, I think, is when I was talking about playing Cameron John as a left wing back, even though he's 5'11", I think I am going to have to be, I'm forced to play him as a central defender. And the lad George Nevitt, who was saying at 5'10" wasn't tall enough to be a centre back, he's going to have to play there. I literally have no money to buy players. I might be able to bring one in if I'm lucky. I've had to bring this kid in, Lennon McLaugh. I've had to bring him in. He's only 17 as a backup keeper. Things are pretty desperate here at Rochdale. We have done very well in the pre-season friendlies. We're not conceding many goals and we are banging goals in for fun. But they've all been like 1.5 star teams. So it's been a good run out, but not a great test for us. The first test is going to come, well, we're on the 3rd of August now, and in 2 days' time, we have Ebbsfleet at home. And I think that is where I'm going to leave it for this episode. I was hoping to play a game, but I don't want this episode to be War and Peace. It basically has told you who my starter club are, obviously Rochdale, and my hopes and fears for it. And, well, that percentage is going, fears is becoming like 80% now, because I think this is going to be a very, very tough save. And the way things are looking with the finances, I very much doubt we can get out of this league at the first attempt. There's actually only one automatic promotion spot and the rest go into the playoffs. So getting that one automatic promotion spot, it's going to be very, very difficult. We all know the playoffs are a lottery and I never really do very well in the playoffs. So it's fingers crossed now. Hopefully that left wing back will come in. He wants about £900 a week wages, which is the top end of what we can afford to pay. If he goes elsewhere, he goes elsewhere, and I'll have to look elsewhere. As we know, the transfer window usually gets better and better and easier as it gets towards the transfer window expiry. And obviously my scouts are quite new, so maybe I'm hoping for more things coming in, but I'm really tied. We can't bring any more loan players in. Expired contracts are few and far between now. They're all getting snapped up. And, well, paying money out for a player, it's a bit of a no-no. 10,000 budget is getting me absolutely nothing. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. We'll see you in the next episode, and there'll be the first 2 games of the Vanarama National season. And, well, hopefully we can get off to a good start, but the squad is still very, very, very small. We'll see you very shortly.